All right, well, I think that we're going to go ahead and get started. So, howdy, partners. I met most of you already, actually all of you already. I'm Amy Fulton, and I'm the sheriff in the early childhood parts of Kids Corps.
And I am Denise.
Call me busy.
All right, and we're here today to talk to you about Vacation Bible training for our early childhood kids. So that means that you are either a butterfly, which means that you're working in our 2 or 3-year-old class, you're a rainbow working in a 3-4-year-old class, or you're a sunshine working in our pre-K class. So if that's you, then you're in the right place. And we want to welcome all those people online watching us today. We'll be talking to, there are people here sitting live, and I'll also be talking to you. So a couple things before we get started. It looks like most of you have got your folder. You at home, if you don't have your folder yet, you need to make sure you pick those up at church. Are we live? Are we good? Okay, awesome. All right, so make sure you pick up your folder. Inside this folder is some awesome stuff. You're going to see the people that you're working with in your classrooms. You're going to have all of the curriculum of all 5 days will be in there. You're going to have a list of some extra supplemental ideas, and you're going to have some very important classroom information. So we're going to be highlighting a lot of this, but our hope is that you'll then take this home and you're going to read through all the materials. So make sure you have your folder. If you don't have it yet, you can pick that up at the church. We can get you one to look at. How about that? There you go.
Great, thanks. Just so I can. There you go. Thanks.
All right, so grab your folders. If you're at home, put up your feet and get a glass of water to drink, and we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to give you a little bit of training on You Got a Friend in Me. All right.
All right, we're going to kick off by how you prepare for BBC.
Okay, Buzz, do you want the video clip? I'm so excited. It's just me. All right, hit it, Bailey.
I'm going to buzz over here.
Oh, those are wings.
All right, listen up. I need pump boy here, ducky here. Legs, you're with ducky. Roller Bob and I don't move till we get the signal. Clear? Let's move!
All right. It takes a little bit of organization. If you've ever been around 2, 3, or 4-year-olds, you know that. But there's nothing like 24 of them together. So come prepared. First of all, as Amy mentioned, get your folder. Read through the stuff in your folder. If there's something that doesn't make sense, if the wording, you're like, wait a minute, what's she talking about? Then, give us a call and say, hey, what in the world did you mean by this? But check it out. As you read through your folder and look at your lesson plans, you're going to realize there are different things. There's leading small group time. There's different jobs, decorating, getting stuff ready for them. Look at your group of people, talk amongst yourselves, and say, who wants to do what? If it's a matter of somebody says, I want to lead small group time, and that's really important to me. If nobody else is interested in doing that, then they can do it every day. You can rotate through the jobs, whatever works for your particular group, but that needs to be decided in advance to kind of help you guys have some flow when you get into the classroom. Before BBC starts, connect with all the volunteers in your group. There is not a lead teacher, so if you're here, I recommend take a look at those other people who are leading the classroom with you. Shoot an email that says, hey, my name is, I'm excited to meet you. You can meet at setup, decorating day, which is the Sunday, day before BBC, June 9th from 1 to 4. We recommend decorate your classroom door. In the Sunshine, Rainbow, and Butterfly rooms, you can either decorate a theme, BBC theme with Toy Story, or you can do a butterfly or a rainbow. Whatever you do, please make sure that if you do a butterfly theme and you're a blue butterfly, put some blue on there, because there's going to be more than one class of butterflies, and I will tell you until about Thursday they're all going to look the same to you. Look through your supplies, and they'll be in your room on Sunday. Take a look through your supplies and say, do I have everything I need? If there's something you're missing, something you can think of, hey, I think I would like to have this in my classroom, then just give us a shout and let us know. Decorate by theme, and then finally, here's the big one, pray for the kids. Start right now. If you have your classroom roster in there, pray for them by name, pray for the other leaders, pray for BBC overall. And really, I would say the biggest prayer is pray that whatever these kids walk away from if they never go back into church again in their life, that at some point when they need it, they're going to remember this, because that may be the situation they're in. Finally, get an extra battery pack, dig out your comfy clothes, and take a nap, because I guarantee you, you're going to have a lot of fun in 5 days, but it's going to be fast.
Okay, Busy. What time is set up again on that Sunday?
Setup is at 1 and it ends at 4. So we do have Sunday school that night. So we definitely ask that you try to have it wrapped up, classroom cleaned up, and be on your way out by 4.
All right, let's take a look at this next here clip.
All right, listen up. Yard sale. Yard sale! Yard sale! Guys, wake up! There's a yard sale outside!
Yard sale?
Sarge, emergency roll call!
Sir, yes, sir! Red alert! All civilians fall in position now! Single file! Let's move! Ham, here. Potato Head, Mr. and Mrs.
Here.
Tricus, check. Check.
I hate yard sales! Ah, someone's coming!
All right, roll call. That's going to be really important with our 2, 3, and 4-year-olds. This is going to be the most important thing that you have. This is our official attendance notebook, Busy. It is so cool. Look what might be in it.
Do not leave home without it.
This is important. Don't lose it. All right, so inside you're going to find a roster with all of your kids in it. It's going to tell you if they have allergies. It will be there in your roster, in your notebook. It's going to tell you who to contact if you need to get a hold of the parents. It's going to have your schedule for the day. It's going to have your lesson plans for the day. It's going to have maps so you don't get lost, so that you can't get that lost because we make you stay on the first floor and rarely let you leave the hallway. So you should be okay there. Just a little note on that, your classrooms, if you are in any of these classrooms, you're in a pre-K classroom, you're going to be on the first floor in the pre-K hallway. That's where your classroom's going to be. And that you should find out, if you look in your folder, it'll tell you what room you're in. If you're in a rainbow or a butterfly, you're in the nursery hallway on the first floor. So everybody's on the first floor. And as I said, you'll just be moving small places. We'll talk about that in just a minute. So let's see, anything else in our attendance notebooks? Oh, you need to take this everywhere you go. It's important. If some emergency were to happen, you're going to need to know where your kids are or who is missing. So this is just, it also can be a great sign. It's like, follow me. You can put a little butterfly, blue butterflies, like here's, I'm the line leader, follow me, or come over here to where I'm standing. So this is a great little sign for your classroom also. So just take advantage of it. In fact, I would have one of the people in your classroom in charge of the notebook at all times. They can just be the person in charge of always remembering it. The other thing to remember is always, you're gonna do a lot of counting, just like they did attendance there. Anytime you leave the room, you're gonna count your kids. Anytime you get to the place you're going, you're gonna count your kids. Your big mission is to not lose any kids and make sure you leave with the same kids that you came with. So you wanna make sure they're the same ones. So, all right, anything else, Busy?
I don't think so. I will say it is absolutely critical. When you guys get ready to leave the classroom or when your check-in is done, just say, hey, all big people, we have 17 kids here today. Because there's going to be somebody walking up to them at some point and say, how many kids do you have? How many kids do you have? And when you get ready to move, you're going to want to count them when you leave the room, count them when you arrive at your destination, count them again before you leave, and then when you get back, because it's very easy. And what we're going to find this time is a lot of these kids will be regulars and they'll know their Sunday school classroom, but that may not be their BBC classroom. So you may have a kid going, hey, this is where I go to Sunday school, and peeling off. So just make sure that you know that magic number every day.
Don't worry, Sheriff Amy will be down the hallway and I will be asking, I can quiz you at any time. So make sure you know how many kids you have.
Make sure she gives you a prize if you get it right.
I might just do that. All right, take a look at this next clip.
What? Whoa! No! Hey, stop! Horsey, stop! Stop, sit, boy! Stop it! Yeah! Sit, I said! Whoa! Whoa!
It's you! It's you! It's you! It's really you!
What's me?
There's a snake in my boot.
Ha! It is you!
Please stop saying that.
Prospector said someday you'd come. Sweet mother of Abraham Lincoln, the prospector! He'll want to meet you!
All right. Jesse obviously was excited to see Woody. Woody was overwhelmed. That's going to be a little bit of what you're going to find in the classroom. You're going to be super excited to see them, and they may be a little overwhelmed. Best way to combat that is start on a positive note. For most of us, running around frazzled and late is a really poor way to start something. VBC officially starts at 12:30. Parents will be dropping off right then because stuff starts happening right away. We encourage you to be in your classroom by 12:10. It gives you a chance to just kind of make sure everybody's there. Again, check through your supplies and make sure you have everything that you need. And finally, just make sure that you have a chance to take a deep breath and maybe just do a quick breath prayer. God, please make everything that happens in this room today, make everything that happens for these kids be the very best that it can possibly be. I guarantee you that will do more to settle your nerves and get you ready to go than anything. Make sure that you have 2 unrelated people in the classroom, adults, not little people, big, in the classroom before you do any check-in. And that may be youth helpers, it may be both adults, but as long as you're unrelated, that's perfect. If you have other kids to drop off in other classrooms and there are 2 of you at check-in, wait until a 3rd person comes before you leave to check in. Read through the lesson plan again ahead of time. Make sure that everybody understands what's going to happen and how that flows. Include your youth leaders when you're assigning jobs. A lot of these youth leaders are our regular Sunday school teachers, and they know what they're doing like a snap. So make sure you include them, give them a chance to leave, because I think you'll be super impressed with how well they do. Make sure you have enough supplies. We do count them. We count them a couple of times, but we get surprised every week. So I just recommend, finally, greet the kids with a big smile. If you're excited to see them, they're going to be excited to see you. And as a parent, the first time we came to Resurrection 26 years ago with our daughter, we came back the second Sunday and somebody said, "Hi, Katie." And the fact that they remembered her name was all it took for us to leave our own church, and this was the place for us. And we've been here since then. So again, recognize them by name, just get down on their level, greet the parents, anything that you can say positive. If they had a great day the day before, tell the parent, "Hey, they had a blast yesterday. We're excited to see what they've got, what they're going to do today." And finally, engage in welcome activities. There will be welcome activities left out for you. Engage them, get them in the room and get them, the sooner you get them involved in something, help them find a friend. That's our whole gist this week, is to find a friend. Help them find somebody to connect with. It may be a big person. It may be one of your youth helpers and say, "Hey, you read them a book, sit down with them and color at the table, do something." But the sooner you get them engaged, the happier they're going to be and the smoother your day is going to run.
Awesome. All right, let's take a look at this next clip.
Rex?
Come to Papa.
All right. All right. If you don't want it to be like that, I can just bring you some hints right now. We give you plenty of activities to do with the kids. And doing these activities and keeping them engaged with these activities is the best way to prevent things like that. We'll never get that crazy, I promise. But we find out when we give free time to the kids, a lot of times that's when the sharing issues come and lots of other things. So we try to give you all sorts of materials. You're going to be going to different places, keeping the kids busy. So just realize if you keep them engaged, your class won't end up like that. If it starts getting like that, that's when you want to say, "Okay, kids, let's have cleanup time and let's get going again." All right, so on that note, we're going to take a minute and I'm going to give you a little peek inside your lesson. As I said, in your folder, if you don't have your folder, you'll get that at the church, I'm sure. So go ahead and pull up your very first lesson. Just to peek at it here, we're going to take a look at it. So first off, you see what class you're in, all right? So we've already talked about where those rooms are, what ages those are. Secondly, you'll see the main point, which is this point right here. This is the main thing we're trying to teach the kids. With 2, 3, and 4-year-olds, it's really not rocket science. We want them to learn about what it is to be a good friend.
What's that a jig?
Huh?
What's that a jig? Because rocket science is
every
day, every way with me.
I was wondering if you kept that busy, and you sure did. You're paying attention. Way to go. That's right. So pay attention to the main point. And really, if the kids are coming in, they learn that church is a great place to be, that I can have fun at church, that Jesus loves me and is my friend. You have done a huge amount of work with these 2, 3, and 4-year-olds. All right. You'll also see in this little part here that says lesson activity supplies. Those are all the supplies for that day. And the good news for you is Miss Bailey, our wonderful early childhood intern, is putting together all those supplies for you and testing them. She about blew up church today doing a science experiment, but it was okay. We tested. We're not going to do that experiment in class, so you can thank Bailey for that. But all the lessons, we want you to be able to just come in and be with the kids, lead the kids, have fun with the kids. So we spend a lot of time and effort getting all these supplies you need ready. So just realize the big thing you're going to want to do is make sure that those supplies are really in your room with your right amount. So those will be in your rooms when you show up for setup that very first day.
Sure.
Yes, because you come over here so I can see it. These people want to see you up here on the screen. So.
But they don't. When you get your supplies, they're going to be in 1 or 2 large paper bags, and that's going to be your stuff for the week. Sort them out, whatever works for you. If it's easier to bring in a few little extra bags so that you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because you are going to find that they provided you with a truckload of stuff. So
actually, we decided we're going to do it day by day, so they're not going to have to worry about that.
there you go. There you go.
We heard you.
They're going to
We heard
pre-bag
you
it.
busy. We heard you busy.
Thank you.
So
All right.
awesome. You still want to check because you want to make sure you have all your supplies. So the last thing you're going to see here is we have a schedule for you. You are the timekeepers of your own room. Sheriff Bailey and I will be in the hallways helping you the first couple of days move from place to place. If you're in a butterfly room, you're not going to move very far. You're going to go from your classroom to Logan's Landing, to your classroom, maybe to the playground if it isn't too hot, but you're not going to go too far. If you're a rainbow, you're going to be going to praise and worship time in our treehouse park. You're going to have a little bit of a rec time where you get to go outside and play with bubbles and other people lead that. If you are a pre-K, you're going to get to do some fun rotations. So you're actually going to get to go to the Pizza Planet as one of our rotations, and to the rec one day, and to the inflatables one day. So as you get older, we're trying to bring in a different fun activity for the kids. So, but there'll be a lot more information about that when you show up at the class. But you'll see there are 4 main times that happen in the class. We always have welcome time and exploration activities. So that's when the kids first engage. We'll have activities for you to do. Second thing you're going to have is a friendship circle time. That's the time where we're going to call kids by name and we're going to get to know each other. And then the third time is the Bible story exploration. And this is really fun because this year, through interviews that we are going to have lab coats, and we're going to be doing science experiments with our 3 and 4-year-olds. So we're going to, hopefully, the more fun you have, just like Ms. Busy over here and I are trying to make it fun for you to listen to us for 25 minutes. The kids will really engage if you get into character. So find the person in your classroom who loves to do a little acting and wants to be the scientist of the day to perform the science experiment and teach the kids. And I guarantee you they're going to have a lot of fun with that. And then finally, there's always small group exploration. And if you are in one of our 3 or 4-year-old rooms, you're going to be making each kid's going to be making their very own potato pal friend. So you're going to be doing a lot of activities with this. And each day you're going to be adding a different part to your potato friend. See those up there, everybody? So like the first day you're on the lookout for friends. So you're going to be adding the eyeballs to your friend. Last day you're going to be telling others about Jesus. So you're going to add the mouth. So by the end of the week, you're going to have a potato pal that they'll be able to take home, including a little box, a little home that they're going to get to stay in. So that's built in for the whole week. So they're going to want to, don't send the potato friends home because you're going to need them, and we do activities with them. You'll notice they have this nice little ribbon right here, and that's to write the kid's name on it. So day 1, they're going to get to pick the pals, write the kid's name on here. If the kids decide they want to name their pals, you can write that on the back. You can be creative with that. But that is the 3 and 4-year-olds. The 2-year-olds, they might get these, but you won't. There's too many parts they could swallow. So we're probably not going to give you those, except maybe to take home at the very end. So that's small group exploration. And then you'll see the rotations that we've already talked about. The only thing that's not on there is snack time. Snack time, we're going to bring snacks to your room. As I mentioned in your notebook, we'll have a list of kids with allergies. And you will fit in snack time whenever it works for you. So you might decide after you've been on the playground, we're all gonna sit at the table and have snacks then. So there's not gonna be a wrong or right time for that. It's gonna be up to you and what works best. Okay, so that's a lot of information. A little information for lots of stuff that's here, but you'll see this can be read word for word. We try to make it very simple, but I want you to know we want you to make it your own, so you don't have to read it word for word. Just get the main point across. The other thing I want you to know is you don't get to do all the activities. If one activity is going really well and you want to stick with that activity, that's fine. We're going to be flexible. If you don't get through all the materials, that's okay. They're still going to learn something. So don't panic if you don't get through it all. If you have extra time, believe me, we'll have lots of extra activities planned for you to do. So that's not going to be a problem. Okay. Woo, busy. That's a lot of stuff.
That was a bunch.
All right. So let's hit the next clip and see what's two more things to tell you, or three.
Piggy bank coming through, coming through.
Is he out there?
There he is.
He's getting in the box.
He's selling himself for 25 cents.
Oh, Woody, you're worth more than that.
Hold on. He's got something. It's Wheezy.
Wheezy?
Hey, it's not suicide. It's a rescue.
Good boy, Buster. Hold still. There you go, pal.
Bless you, Woody.
All right, now, back to Andy's room.
Yeah.
Way to go, cowboy. Got her, Bob. Howdy.
All right. I know you're big about keeping people safe, Busy, so why don't you talk to us about that?
This is my mothership. As ridiculous as I may appear, keeping kids safe is just, it is my passion. It is I mean, Amy and I both agree very strongly, above all else, keep them safe. And as Nick mentioned, if a kid's slamming the doors, it looks like readers are going to get in there, you have to stop the behavior. If somebody, if you go out on the playground and somebody's doing something that looks like it's going to end poorly, then go ahead and get that stopped before we have an accident. Some general guidelines. One, never be alone with a child. If somebody has to go potty, you prop the door open, you stand outside, you let them do the best they can. If they need help buttoning or zipping, have them step back outside with you and where everybody else can see you and help them button or zip. If you
And Busy, it's really cool because we have bathrooms in each one of our classrooms.
say, "They're so cute."
Yeah, so they won't be going anywhere but to those.
So yeah, you don't have to leave the classroom, which is fantastic, but it's super important that you just make sure that you are never alone with a child. If there's a situation where you need to step out in the hall with them, you need to find one of the sheriffs and say, hey, we need you to get engaged. Fortunately, you have multiple teachers in the classroom, so if there's need help with something, send somebody out to find somebody to come in and help you guys out.
And no diaper changing.
No.
We get to do that too, so.
By we, I went to the Pizza Planet for that. Discipline guidelines. If you have a situation that you can't manage in the classroom, if something just continues to happen, we obviously don't use any kind of corporal punishment, but after you have tried just, helping redirect them, if you have tried to gently say, hey, let's find a different activity, try to positively redirect them and it's not working, you can call the sheriff and maybe they just need a couple of minutes to step out in the hall and take a breath, because it is a lot and it is overwhelming. And some of our little friends don't know quite what they're experiencing and they don't know how to react. So that way they get a chance to just take a breath and restart. Appropriate and inappropriate touch. Feel super confident y'all know what that is. We recommend do not touch a child in any way that they don't initiate. If you want to give them a high five, that's great, a fist bump, whatever, but just make sure that there is never a possibility that any touch would ever make a child feel uncomfortable, or if any other person saw you do it, there would be no question that that was never an inappropriate touch. The bathrooms, again, are in your classrooms, which is awesome because you can just send them in. There are doors from both sides, so just be aware, when you open the door to let them in, that there may be somebody else in there, but there are 2 little potties in each one. There is a place to go if they get injured. If there's any kind of an injury, you need to find one of the sheriffs and say, hey, this is what happened. My recommendation is always, even if it doesn't seem like a big deal, if it's an injury, go ahead and let somebody know, because the last thing we want is a parent to call later at night and say, hey, you know, my kid's got this big lump on their head. You know how that happened? That way we can proactively say, hey, you know, they were playing and they ran into the door. Really, anybody with a kid that age is not going to be surprised by that, most likely. If you lose a child, this goes down in the record books as one of my great fears, is that we legitimately lose a child.
If you never have.
Huh? We've never lost one for long. We've misplaced them a time or two. One of the biggest ways that they get misplaced is that when you're lining up to leave Treehouse Park, or you're lining up to go somewhere, they line up with the wrong class, or they end up stopping to say hi to a friend, and all of a sudden you get back to your classroom and they're not there. Again, if you have a lost child, immediately ask next door, hey, looking for. The other thing with your attendance notebook is immediately look at the name tags and figure out who you're missing. That's the quickest way to get there, is okay, because somebody may recognize that child's name from Sunday school and say, okay, let's look for, here's who we're after. Let someone know immediately. We have security, they will get involved, and we will be pulling in the ranks if we can't find them in just a couple of minutes. Finally, just make sure that the better you get to know the kids, the better they're going to be about staying with you. You want them to be familiar with you and recognize you. And if you're familiar with them, you're going to say, hey, wait a minute, we're missing Jacob, or we're missing Ryan, or we're missing whomever. And my son is a Ryan, and he was missing 75% of the time that he grew up in this church, because he was like, hey, my mom's office is down here, I'm leaving. So again, just be aware of who's in your classroom. And if there's ever any doubt, please don't hesitate to ask, because keeping them safe is our absolute highest priority.
All right, let's take a look at our next book. One of my favorites.
Go! Drop! I said drop! Go! Drop! Go! That went well.
All right, so teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Now granted, they achieved their mission, they got across the street. Hopefully it won't be quite as scary or quite as messy as what that is. But we want you to know that we want you to work together as a team. You're going to be in a classroom. As you see on your rosters, you're going to have lots of help. You have 6 or 7 teachers in each of your room. That's a lot of teachers, lots of help. And your class sizes, we have 18 kids in our pre-K classes. We have 16 or 17 in our 3-year-old classes, and we have 14 and 12, I believe, in our butterfly classes. So you don't have huge numbers. That's a nice size. So just realize you have lots of people to help, and you all kind of need to figure out what your role is going to be. We've already talked about some of the roles that you can have. Somebody might be the really good storyteller. Somebody might be the one that wants to be the timekeeper, and they're going to keep you going wherever you go. Make sure you get there on time. You might have the person who likes to do all the supplies and get all the crafts ready and be your supply person. So the sooner you recognize what people's gifts and roles are, the better off you're going to be. And as Busy mentioned, make sure you're utilizing the youth in your class, your students. They are awesome leaders. So get everybody involved, and together we'll achieve more. Bailey and I will be coordinating your classroom, so you're going to see us a lot. So that's a good thing. So we'll be there to help. If you need anything, you can always look for one of us. And there's also going to be an info booth at the main Kids 4 entrance. So you can look for that if you have big questions. So as I said, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're excited to work with each of you. And there's a lot more of you, so we're excited about that. All right, so the biggest thing that we want you to know is that we want you to enjoy yourself and have fun. The kids are going to take cues from you. I talked about that earlier. If you're having fun, they're going to have fun. If things don't go quite the way they're supposed to, it's okay. just have fun with the kids. Show them God's love. Show them that you care about them. Show them that this is going to be a good time. If you do those things, you're going to have a great time. So, what?
I know fun.
Oh,
That is where
that is fun.
that is where I land. You do want the kids to learn all that, but you know what? Sometimes just be ridiculous. You know, they're going to be, when you're in Treehouse Park, they're going to get as excited as you do. If they tell you, hey, stand up and let's dance, stand up and dance. We have on video me teaching a group of volunteers how to do the Snoopy dance. And that I'm sure will show up at my funeral. But again, when you have fun, they have fun. And one of the quickest ways for kids to feel that you care about them and love them is when you engage. And the farther down you drop your guard, the more engaging you're going to be, and you're going to have fun. And that's going to make all the difference in the world, because the truth of the matter is, this may be the best 3 hours of their day. This kid that's just a nightmare may not have the coping skills or the way to communicate what's really bothering them. The kid who just doesn't stop may be the kid who doesn't have anybody who listens to them. The kid who doesn't quite know how to let go and have a good time may have never had anybody who had the time or the energy to really just be silly with them. So again, please just dive in, go in head first, buzz in, and you are going to have the best week ever, and so are they.
Agree. All right, hit it, Bailey.
Come on over. Oh, you are such a big girl. Andy, you think she's ready to drive the car yet?
Yeah, and I can teach her.
You still worried?
About Andy? Nah, it'll be fun while it lasts.
I'm proud of you, cowboy.
Besides, when it all ends, I'll have old Buzz Lightyear to keep me company.
Oh, yeah.
For infinity and beyond.
You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Yeah.
There you go. So hopefully that now the whole world is going to be on a volunteer hub. Great to see. We are done with the session, but we want to take a couple minutes. You want to put on that last slide. If you have questions, it's also in your handout. You can email me at that email right there. If you have any immediate questions that you think would be helpful for the whole group, if you're online, you can go ahead and go to your chat box and type those questions in. Here in the room, do you guys have any questions that for the good of the group? Yeah.
For the attendance binder, is there only going to be one
Yes.
for the whole class?
Yes.
Or?
Yeah, there'll be one that'll show up on setup day, which is on that Sunday, and that's when you'll get your roster of all the kids, so you'll know who the kids are in your class. Yep.
I noticed reading through the material about decorating the room.
Yep.
It said not to do the bulletin board. So when you said to go ahead and do some decorations
So-
in the room, what are you kind of thinking?
You can do the door,
Okay.
which is always kind of fun.
Real quick, the question was decorating, what can be done in the classrooms.
You can do the door. We have the big rolls of paper, like butcher paper. Pull off a piece and just stick it to the wall. You can do it beside the bulletin board and basically get the same kind of idea. You can stick stuff up on the cabinets. You know, if you feel adventurous and you want to hang stuff off the ceiling, that's cool too. Other than the bulletin
So
board, there's a
it's
whiteboard.
it's low key, so there's not a whole lot.
Yeah, there's a whiteboard. You can magnet, the sheets up there.
So, and decorating wise, you can either go with the Toy Story theme, or you can go with the name of your classroom. So if you're the green sunshines, if you want to do something with sunshines and a green door, you can. It's up to you. It's as little or as much as you want to do.
Is there a certain type of tape that's better to use on the wall?
We like to use painter's tape on the door, and we staple in the wall with staplers.
Staple on the wall.
Mhm.
Ooh, that sounds radical.
Yeah, that's what they tell us they want us to do. So that's what we do.
What's the surface?
It's walls just like this.
Teeny tiny hole.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
There's not, I will tell you, there's not a whole lot of space on the wall to really decorate. But yeah, if you want to bring in some tablecloths, I mean, there's lots of things you can do to make it fun without having to spend a lot of time. All right, somebody else had a question? Yeah?
You said there are rolls of paper. Where do we find those?
Yes, when you show up, where are rolls of paper for decorating? When you show up on that setup day, they'll probably be out in the hallways for you to find them on the first floor. So we'll be sure, we'll direct you to that if you can't find them, but it's usually right in the middle of the hallway. You do need to bring your own supplies like scissors and tape, and if you need to get up on a little step stool or something, suggest you bring those things because we won't have a lot of extra supplies, and there'll be hundreds of people setting up classrooms, which is so much fun. I don't know if you guys have, how many of you have done BBC before? Okay, it's a lot of first-time people too. It is fun. We take over the whole campus. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay, other questions for the group?
How many tables are in each room?
3 tables are in most rooms except for the butterflies will only have 2. And there should be plenty of chairs for everybody. Yeah.
You said you'll have Sunday school on Sunday night after we decorate, so be all cleaned up.
We'll just ask you to
What can
put,
we
not,
leave?
yeah, you can put things on the counter. We let the people at 5 o'clock know. We don't use all of the classrooms, so we will come and let you know if it's a classroom that's being used. Yeah, if you're a rainbow room, they do use those. Anyway, we'll let you know, but we'll just ask you to put things on the counter. Don't leave things out on the table will be the big thing, right? Anything else?
So room B132, is that all in the kids' core area?
Yes.
Or is it?
Everything is in the first
Everything is
floor
in
of
kids'
kids'
core.
core. Yes, for you guys. You'll be on the first floor of kids' core. That's on the nursery hallway.
But other things are all over the
Oh,
place?
they're everywhere. Yes, yes, yeah. So upstairs will be a kindergarten through 2nd, 3rd graders. I think are in the foundry. We have a pizza planet going up in the foundry area. So we'll mainly be confined. Our little guys will be confined to the first floor. Okay, other questions?
The name badges, are those pre-printed and they'll be in the book each day?
We will be using the same check-in and check-out system that we do on Sunday. So we have stickers, a 3-part sticker that they're going to write their name on, and you will have to give the receipt to whoever's picking them up. We only do that with our 2, 3, and 4-year-olds, but we try to be really secure with them. So all that will be furnished. If you want to do something in addition to that, there'll be little stickers with their name on it. If you want to make bigger stickers, I would advise nothing around their necks because they're young and they can pull and choke on things.
Do you generally put those on the child's front or back?
We put them on the back, but you guys can choose how you want to do it in your classrooms. Yeah.
And if you're a blue sunshine, if you do like a blue S or want to draw a little blue sunshine on the name tag, that's the quickest way to sort them. When you leave, like Treehouse Park or whatever, you're going to line up in 3 lines, and they're basically all just going to stand up and walk to the door. So if you have some sort of an identifying mark on the back side of them or on their name tag, that's just a real easy say, hey, it looks like you're a blue sunshine. Here's your line over here. And then you can scoop yours that are yours back into your line. So that's, if you want to do stickers or whatever.
So that'll be a new sticker for each day, right?
Yep. All right, we know we're running out. I mean, we're way past time, so you're free to go. If you have more questions, do we have any questions online that we need to answer?
I already answered one about would you remind us to please pick up the materials of the curriculum? I should probably show.
Yeah, if you need to go, you feel free to go at this point.
I'm the Kids Corps intern, so if you're looking for somebody, it'll be Amy or me walking around the halls.
Yay, right here, right in the middle. Yeah, so if you're looking for things, all the folders will be on the foundry side, right outside the Kids Corps office. So, all right, thank you guys for coming. If you have more questions, you're welcome to hang out.
Oh, I know.